Alright, what's everyone? Due to high demand, I will be doing a technical analysis video on the graph GRT. We've been absolutely killing it on this channel, obviously. Um, if you check out our Twitter and our Discord group, link for that down in the description below. I mean, really, guys, we are. Just check it out. There's just so much evidence. So, guys, we were talking to our Discord members. They're like, do GRT. So I'm doing GRT. Now, GRT is a newer cryptocurrency here. So I'm gonna run through some technical analysis, like, subscribe, all that stuff. So I've kind of been trying to mess around with GAN fans as of recently. I believe I've drawn this correctly with 45-degree angle, all that good stuff. And I believe this is kind of valid because whenever we do technical analysis on a new cryptocurrency, it's a little more difficult to do technical analysis on because there's less to go off. There's not as much history with the EMAs or even on the larger time frames with the indicators. So I did a few things to try and understand some possible support resistance levels for GRT. For one, kind of like doing like this sloped resistance line here, and also putting like a line right at all-time highs. So two things right there that we can do right off the bat that are pretty obvious resistance signs that we can look out for. Also, given this GAN fan, if drawn properly, and I believe it is, it makes sense that we would get rejected. Right, we're getting rejected off right now, which kind of coincides near with this GAN fan. I've also drawn this pitchfork from the bottom of the movement to the top and the retracement to kind of see where we could go. If we break below this pitchfork here and really kind of the 20 EMA on the 4 hour, I think we have a good chance of retesting the lower extremities of this pitchfork here, kind of at around 41 cents, around that range there. So that wouldn't surprise me. Now, looking at our indicators, I can't even really zoom in like out as much as I'd like. Like on the daily, if we look at the daily, there's like no information to even look at. So I'm kind of stuck with like the 6 hour and less. And based off the 6 hour, things look somewhat precarious. Things look kind of bad news bears. Momentum waves going down, stochastic down, RSI making lower highs, MACD really ticking down. Looks like it wants to have a bearish crossover. Although, if we zoom into the 4 hour here, the stochastic seems to want to have a leg up here. So a few things to note here, guys. If we can break above this kind of slanted red line, I think we're testing 80 cents here. But the fact, I do think that's very possible that we could test 80 cents, kind of get around all-time highs. But the fact that we've had a bearish crossover on the larger time frames and the RSI is making lower highs is somewhat concerning. Now, this is a newer coin, so again, it's kind of difficult to say where support resistance is because there's not that much historical data. I'm trying to see if we can find a cluster of volume that's not right where we're at right now. Here, these regions. Okay, this makes sense. Yeah, so the 50 cents. So something I can tell. Let's actually zoom in. Actually, no. Let's look at just the price action chart. Let's remove this GAN fan for a sec. Hopefully, clear things up. So something that I can tell right off the bat here is kind of the 50 cent is pretty price reactive. As you can see, we kind of reacted off 50 cents here, here, and here as well. So, and we can see like a spike in volume here. So if we break down, I think kind of 50 cents, 49, 50 cents is kind of going to act as support for GRT. So if we do break down, I think that would act as at the very least temporary support. So why don't we draw out some kind of support resistance zones here? I think kind of this situation makes sense here for GRT. I'm tempted to make this even further, but the issue is when widening these boxes, because this whole thing could be considered support here. So I mean, and sometimes lines aren't as useful as well, because really what I want to do is draw like this, to get kind of like a lot of these wicks within this. So I do think kind of this area makes some sense. Let's take a look at the 6 hour. I want to see, okay, yeah. So, I want to see if one of our EMAs happen to line up with this box, which it does. 20 EMA on the 6 hour, right around 50 cents. Yeah, I think 50 cents is going to act as support. Another thing to note as well I think we're forming kind of like a descending triangle here. So whatever way we break out of this thing, I think we're likely to trend in that direction. So guys, with these newer coins too, I did some research on token metrics. I didn't I didn't find a whole lot of interesting stuff with their price predictions. It seemed like GRT can really pump up and kind of correct afterwards. And like with their price prediction, guys, you really have to take that with a grain of salt. They are mostly correct most of the time, but the key word there is mostly. And with a new coin like this, we really don't know. This is contingent upon a lot of things such as the DXY, the dollar index. Another thing that one of our Discord members asked me to take a look at, which is very relevant for GRT, because the dollar index affects crypto, it affects Bitcoin, which affects Ethereum, and Ethereum affects the altcoins, which affects GRT. So let's take a look at this. A few interesting things to note right off the bat. Recent bearish daily close just the day before right here. This kind of looks like a reversal point to me, that candlestick right there. Also right up against resistance with the 50 EMA here on the daily, very bearish. Let's take a look at our indicators on the daily with the DXY on the way up. Momentum waves on the way up, RSI on the way up. The only thing, the stochastic is very much in the overbought territory. And even the MACD is starting to tick down. So I think we might have a leg down, given that we're getting rejected too. Because guys, another thing, we have been rallying with the DXY, which I believe is a factor that's been negatively affecting cryptocurrency. But I don't think anything has changed to make the dollar fundamentally stronger. The Americans have printed trillions of dollars. They're going to continue to print trillions of dollars, which has been devaluing their currency, is going to further devalue it, which, I mean, we can see the clear implications. And by the way, all this money printing, I don't think has even caught up yet. Like all the money printing from last year, I think it's going to take a couple more months for that to even show up, and then the Americans are going to continue printing money, guys. The dollar is kind of fucked in my opinion. Like, sure, maybe what this is a new changing administration with Biden, perhaps bringing more stability, but I mean, I don't even know. I've heard too that when the guys in equities, the stock guys get spooked, they move into things, the hedge obviously, and they move into things such as the dollar, which I mean kind of makes sense. But guys, we're getting rejected as is. I don't think anything has fundamentally changed to make the dollar weaker or stronger. Sorry. So I think it's just a matter of time before we get rejected, make and I think probably even a lower low. Looking at yeah, looking at the 6 hour bearish crossover. So we had a bullish crossover here. Yeah. So okay, let's take a look further at the MACD, because when the MACD has these bullish crossovers, so we had a bearish here, bullish here, went up, bullish, bearish. So whenever we have a bullish crossover followed by a bearish right after, that's very telling, because it's telling you it doesn't want to go that way, which makes sense because again, the dollar is fucked. Now off the shorter time frames, the 2 hour, people say like everything below the 1 hour is just noise, and it kind of is, but for the short term, I believe it's telling. I don't know, guys. Based off like the 2 hour, I think it's gonna go up. So we may continue to rally, guys. Go up something like this, make a lower high, keep going like that. But I just think it's a matter of time before it crashes. And if the Americans decide to raid their own capital again, the dollar could be negatively affected. Let's take a look back at the 4 hour. I want to see if we have signs of bearish crossovers. So whenever we get bearish crossovers on the MACD on the larger time frames, like the 6 and 4, that should be extremely telling. Like, when's the last time we had a bearish crossover on the upside like this? Like, let's zoom out. Oh my god, okay, hold on. Let's take a look at this. Last time, look at this, guys. So the last time we had a bearish crossover in the 6 hour like this was November 3rd. And if we go to November 3rd on the price action, here November 3rd was here. And then look what happened next. Right? That should tell you something. So the fact that we've had another bearish crossover here on the 6 hour, I mean, just look what happened last time. right? So that's what I think is going to happen. I think it's just a matter of time before the DXY continues to drop. Once the DXY drops, I think that's going to be a factor that helps out crypto, which helps out Bitcoin, which helps out Ethereum, which helps out the altcoins, which could help out GRT. So there we go, full circle. To kind of summarize my thoughts, I think, you know, there's kind of a lot of support below us here. I'm going to start drawing lines. This here. This here. So these are kind of the support levels I see for GRT. If indeed we do break down kind of in this descending triangle here, whatever way we break out of this thing, I think we're likely to trend in that direction, likely to see a breakout within the next 3 or so days here. So guys, if you like this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. Check out our Discord group. We talk crypto all the time. We're saying, guys, really stay tuned on this channel. We've been calling it amazing. We're going to continue to be calling it amazing. And by the way, I'm just going to say one last thing before we go. I don't see that we're doing this yet, but I wager that we could be doing this. Perhaps forming a cup and handle. Perhaps. Just perhaps. I don't think that's valid quite yet. We need to see more price action, but it is a possibility. Okay, I'll wrap it up. Take care, y'all.